I love books. I love how they feel. I like the smell of them. I just like to read and spend a whole day just sitting there and reading a wonderful book, and it's one of my favorite things in the world. But sometimes I get a little bit too excited and I buy more books that I can read. So this year I decided to do a challenge. I will not buy any books in 2021. So why do I do this challenge? There are a couple of reasons. The first reason is that I just want to reduce the total number of books that I have, just so there's a little bit less visual clutter in here, and also that my book collection is really focused on only books I really love. And right now there's a few books there I haven't read yet, and I want to really get down to having only books that I really love. I really want to only own my favorite books. Then the second reason is that I want to read the books that I already have. I have, like I said, a lot of books that I haven't read yet, but I still often buy new books because I hear about a book and I want to read it, and then I get a new one instead of reading those I already have. And so yeah, there are a lot of wonderful books here that I really want to read, and I hope that if I do this challenge, it will get me to read all those books that I tend to push off. And that leads me to the third reason, is that I want to challenge myself to read more difficult books, like, for example, this here, and that's War and Peace by Tolstoy. And I've been planning on reading this for quite some time now, but I just procrastinate on it again and again because it's just such a daunting task. I mean, just look at this thing, and yeah, I tend to really just push this off again and again because I always think, yeah, I'm just going to read something shorter and now that is a little bit easier and I can still read this later. But yeah, I've been pushing this off for like more than a year now, and I hope that once I run through all my easy reads, I will get around to read those more challenging, larger books like War and Peace or The Count of Monte Cristo, those like big books that will take me probably a couple of weeks, couple of months even to read. And yeah, I really want to push myself to jump into those kind of books. Then the final reason is that I just want to read more. I usually go through about one book per week, but I also spend a lot of time just researching books, reading book lists, browsing for books on Amazon or in used bookstores. And there's a lot of time that goes into thinking about books, researching about books, that doesn't go into reading. And by not buying any books for a year, I think I will create some extra time that I can spend reading, so I actually get more reading done. Okay, let's take a look at the bookcases. As you can see, there are two bookcases, and I sorted the books so that all the books that I haven't read yet are in the left bookcase, and all the books that I have read are in the right bookcase. As you can see, there are a lot more books in the left bookcase. That is mainly because usually when I finish a book, I donate it or sell it. So yeah, there are a lot more unread books. I set myself some rules. The first rule is I can't buy any books. The second rule is the challenge ends on January 1st, 2022. The third rule is if I should actually read all the books I have and run out of books before the end of the challenge, then the challenge ends as well. Because the purpose of this challenge is not to stop reading, it's to read more and to read more difficult books. And so yeah, when I run out of books, I'm allowed to buy new books. But I don't think that this will happen because there are quite a few unread books. There are a lot of books here that I'm really excited about reading. I don't think I will be able to clear the entire bookcase. This year it's just too many books for that. But I think I should be able to clear 2 or 3 of those shelves, and that would already be great progress. And maybe by the end of the year I will even be able to fit all of my books into one bookcase. That would be the goal, so we'll see if I will be able to do that, and we'll take a look at the end of the year. Then there are 2 exceptions for these rules. The first exception is I am allowed to buy myself Kindle versions of books if I think that it's really important for me to read this book. For example, if I'm in a specific situation and I want to read a non-fiction book about it that helps me in this situation, I am allowed to buy a book as a Kindle version. I do allow myself the Kindle version because for once it doesn't create additional clutter, and also I don't really enjoy reading digital versions of books. I just like reading physical books a lot more, so I think by using only Kindle versions for the exception, I won't just abuse this exception and really only use this in situations where I really think that it really does make sense for me. Then there's another exception that I allow myself. I will have birthdays soon, and I do allow myself to wish for 1 book as a birthday wish. I think by not buying books all year, and then this is like my only chance in the entire year to get a new book, I will be really intentional about this one, and I think that kind of makes this really special. I'm making this video to hold myself accountable because I know that this will be a very difficult challenge for me, because I just really love books and I often find myself buying new books. And by making this public, I think I'm more likely to stick with it. So if you want to join me on this challenge, just write a comment down below in the comment section, and then we can support each other, hold each other accountable, and do this challenge together in 2021. If you want me to keep you updated on this challenge, then just follow me on Instagram and I will keep you updated there. At the end of the year, I plan on making a recap video where I talk about the challenge, if I failed at any point, if I made it, if it was difficult for me, what I learned from it. Like, I will just make one recap video at the end of the year. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss this. And if you found this video interesting or helpful, let me know by liking this video, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.